Morning, Claire.
Morning. Okay, so firstly, thanks Caroline for inviting us to take part in this event today. We work in a pretty niche area when it comes to technology, so I've got a few different things that I'll be going over today. But firstly, what we do and who are Distology, and then secondly, the types of skill sets that we look out for and the roles that exist within our industry. But first, I thought that, seeing as though we're talking about careers today and we're talking about journeys really and the pathway that people follow, it would actually be beneficial if you guys can understand my journey and how I got to be where I am today. So obviously marketing manager, you wouldn't necessarily think that that's a technical role, but sitting within a technical industry, you wouldn't believe the amount of crossover there is. So started off at Harrytown, which I'm sure a lot of you will know, the school in Romley. Did quite well, did my GCSEs, decided to go to college, and I went over to Aquinas. Now, really enjoyed my time there, but I felt that towards the end of my A-levels, I was really itching to get into the world of work. I was almost, I shouldn't say this, but bored of education. I wanted to just get out there and get some experience and apply all these things that I'd learned. So I could either go off to university, didn't really think that that was right for me, to be quite honest. I felt that for me personally, I'd come out of the 3 years with probably quite a bit of debt and not much to show for it because I'd probably end up partying too hard. So I went off, got a career and moved from general office assistant really to marketing assistant, marketing exec, marketing manager, and I did that by doing some out of work learning with the Chartered Institute of Marketing. Felt that was more appropriate for me because I could apply the things that I was learning as I went to the roles that I was in as I progressed, and I kind of got to a point where I needed to challenge myself. So once I hit the role of marketing manager, I started to look around at different roles and different opportunities out there in the market. So, I'm now in a company that backs me, backs my professional development, wants to see me succeed, gives me the flexibility and the freedom to build my own team and really build it as a business unit so that I can make decisions and decide what the right approach is for the people that sit within my team. And really, I've got here through hard work, initiative, a willing and motivation to succeed. And I strongly believe that, if you've got those qualities, you will succeed in your career no matter what path you choose. So I don't think that there's many people out there who choose the job they want to go into when they're leaving school, leaving uni or whatever, and they stick in that role for the rest of their lives. There's so much flexibility these days, there's so much freedom to actually experiment and give things a go. So no matter what you're choosing today, no matter what kind of path you think is right for you, if it turns out that you want to change your mind, you absolutely can do. You can take a different route. So Caroline, if you wouldn't mind going on to slide 2 for me. So we work in an area called distribution, which admittedly probably sounds quite boring, but I'll come on to that in a second. So Distology, we are a service-led business, so that means we very much rely on the customer service experience and the service that our colleagues deliver, and as a result of that level of service that we do deliver, we've won various awards. So we were Cloud Distributor at our industry awards last year, we were Overall Distributor of the year before that. We've received various accolades and various other awards that I'll come on to in this presentation. But basically what we do is we find those disruptive, innovative, best in breed technology providers, more specifically around cybersecurity, and we help those providers get to market in the UK. So we've got some really good examples where there's been some amazing tech providers in the US. They've come to the UK and they've really struggled to know how they can reach end users. How do I actually get my amazing product to the market without spending a ton of money? So we work with that vendor. We help to match them up with resellers and partners. And I can see Caroline having a technical issue. No. And we basically work out how we can get the product to market in the quickest, easiest and cheapest way possible. If you imagine it, it's a little bit like matchmaking. So we have this little black book of partners, we have vendors, and we're just trying to connect the two and build a relationship between these partners and vendors. Really big name, if you imagine Microsoft, that would be a vendor. You've then got Distology, we're a distributor. You've then got a partner such as Voda. I know they've been involved in this event, they're based in Stockport. And then their end user could be someone like CDL. They're a business who are actually using our technologies. So when we look at the types of services that a vendor might need to help get their product to market, it could be sales support, it could be marketing support, it could be tech support, but essentially it's like a pick and mix. So a vendor will come to us and tell us their areas of weakness, and we help to fill those gaps. If you imagine, Amazon, that's a great analogy. Amazon are distributors. They have physical products like books and CDs and whatever. They have a warehouse and they distribute them out to end users. We're very similar, but we deal with invisible products because everything we work with when it comes to cybersecurity is invisible. It's all software. So we don't need a warehouse, but what we do need is great people to be able to deliver these services and basically help us win more awards next year. Caroline, if you wouldn't mind going on to the next slide. But one of the biggest misconceptions we've found being in this industry is that everyone needs to be super technical. Everybody has to be into coding or has to be, an operations IT manager. It's not the case at all. So something I mentioned earlier about me sitting in the marketing team but having a bit of a crossover with tech is that all of those tech providers that we're working with, they're going to see success by being able to communicate their message in the easiest and simplest way possible. So we will take their messaging, we will take their complex technology, and we'll try and simplify it right down so that our sales teams and the partners that we're working with can sell it and communicate that message in the easiest way possible. So of course, I need to be able to understand that technology. I need to be able to actually simplify what I'm being given. The sales teams, that's a really great example of that hybrid role where it is we have a lot of account managers here. They're split into two teams. We've got fairly experienced guys, account managers, and then we've got almost like a pool of new talent that we nurture. So these are all account execs. They might have come out of university, they might have come fresh from college, but essentially we train you to be able to have these conversations with resellers and partners and be able to communicate the message of the tech that we represent. What you need is, they'll kill me for saying this, but you don't need to be that smart. What you do need is you need charisma, you need to be intuitive, you need to have that gut feeling when you've found an opportunity to sell this technology into somebody. You need to be able to talk about how two pieces of tech can actually work together, how they integrate well. So for that, you might have a fairly technical mind. You can understand how these pieces of technology can work together. Doesn't necessarily mean you need a degree in coding, to be able to do that job. You can apply your personality and your knowledge of the tech sector together and have a really successful career within our sales team. Conversely, if you look over at our tech team, we have a few different roles there. One is pre-sales. So again, that's almost a hybrid between sales and tech again. They take the technologies we represent and they deliver demos to end users before they've actually invested in that product. So you've got companies saying, yeah, this tech sounds pretty interesting. It sounds like it could solve my problem. I know I've got a weakness when it comes to my cybersecurity in this particular area, and your product could solve that problem. So can I see it? Can I see it in action? And our tech team will roll in and they'll deliver a demo. They'll go all through the pre-sales elements, that's what we call it. And they'll basically apply our vendor tech to the problem and say, okay, if that's what your issue is, this is how this tech will work in that instance. They might actually say, do you know what? For what you're looking for, this tech isn't right for you, but we do have an alternative product that could work. Let me give you a demo of that one instead. You've then got post-sales. So once an end user has decided to buy the technology, they need help actually deploying that and rolling it out across their business. You know, a lot of what we deal with is fairly complex stuff. It's not something that you can install in a day and roll out and, you know, you're done. You need someone with that technical expertise to be able to actually understand the complexities of your own network and the key bits of information that are really critical, that are kept private, safe and secure, and our tech team can help companies to do that. They can white label the services, they can go in as Distology, but essentially we're there to help with the deployment. We also have developer, so at the moment we've got one developer called Alice, and she is an absolute coding genius. Honestly, the way her mind works is insane, and she is there to help look at different pieces of technologies and how they actually integrate together, so that when we're going out to market, we can go in with those messages to say, hey, did you know that we've got one product called Okta, we've got another one called Yubico. These two actually complement each other. So if you want a really, really safe and secure experience, get these two products and this is how they'll work together. And it's people like Alice who can actually give us that visibility and help us to understand how the products will work together. And then ultimately, it doesn't stop there. We're a really, really, really fast growing business. So there's no reason to say that there isn't progression. So once you've hit those roles, we are in the process of actually adding in extra layers around the management team. So we have a tech manager at the moment, Steve. He really looks at the operational side of the tech team and the running of projects, and just making sure that any projects we commit to doing are done on time, on budget, and to the level of expectation that the customer has in mind. Caroline, if you wouldn't mind flipping on to the next slide for me. Thank you. So something that I've kind of mentioned already, but Alice within our team is brilliant, and I'm not just saying that, you know, to be flippant. She really is brilliant. And within our industry, it's when you deliver a really good service, you do a really good job, you do get recognised for it. Alice actually won CRN's Technical Employee of the Year last year with us, and you may wonder what that means. Well, we submitted an entry on her behalf about all the great work that she'd been doing for us last year, and she ended up against the likes of Microsoft, Fujitsu, countless other big players in the tech industry, and Alice actually won the award for Technical Employee of the Year, which was amazing. Added to the fact that Distology as a company, we won the Gender Parity Award at the CRN Awards last year, and why that was important to us was that we know that women are hugely underrepresented when it comes to the tech industry, tech sector. On average, I feel like when you look at the population, there's around 50 to 53% of the population are women, the rest are men. Now, when you look at it in the tech sector, only 17% of the workforce is women. Where are all the women? Where have they gone? So we have been actively trying to get more women to look at our industry and consider it as an option. Hopefully by me going through the different job roles that exist within Distology, and that's not exclusive to Distology, you know, any tech business has this variety, has this range. We just want to really raise awareness that you don't have to have technical degrees or anything like that to work within the company. As long as you've got the skill set that applies to your role, you've got a passion for your role, you've got the knowledge around your role, then there is a role for you. We are actively trying to encourage the conversation and encourage that inclusion by launching our own campaigns. So last year we did a campaign called Join the Club, and that was a series of different podcasts, different blogs, different posts, all around, you know, shining a light on the great expertise and skill sets that lie within our industry, and the people who are really raising and flying that flag for women within tech. So if you do get a chance, please have a look. Finally, Caroline, if you wouldn't mind flicking to the last slide. So this is Nat. He sits within our tech team. I think he actually killed me when I actually included a photo of him because he wasn't expecting it. But when I asked Nat what would really resonate with him if he was listening to me speak today, it was the fact that he, Nat looks after our pre-sales, got loads of charisma about him, gifted with a gab, essentially. He had no idea what pre-sales meant when he started out at Distology. He'd just left university. He'd actually changed his own career path a couple of times before he joined the team. And what he really loves about working not just for Distology but within our sector is the variety available. So being within the tech team means that he's not just got his one role and that's it, for the rest of his life. As his experience grows, he can choose to, as he's mentioned in the quote, he can go into a specialist area of cybersecurity. He can be a generalist. He can cover all sorts of technologies. Within the channel that we work in, obviously, there's areas for progression either side, partners, vendors. Obviously, we love people to stay with us. We're trying to build this culture that people really love working for Distology, but we get that through treating our colleagues and our employees right and with respect, and really giving us all the opportunity to make decisions and be accountable for our own roles. So as you can see, Nat is not only having a great time, but he sees a really big career and a bright future for himself in the few years to come. So that's it really from me. I just want to thank you for your time, for listening today. Hopefully you understand a little bit about what distribution means and what it is, and hopefully that it's not as boring as it sounds. And that if my talk today has just inspired you to think that you don't have to make any knee-jerk decisions right now, but you can take time to think and you can take time to choose the career path that's right for you, then I feel like that, that's my job done. In regards to next steps, I've mentioned already, we're a very rapidly growing business. As of yesterday, we actually revealed that we've received investment from a private equity company, which is brilliant news for us. It helps to further fuel our growth. So please do keep your eyes peeled for any job roles that are out there in the coming months. But if you do have any specific questions for us, please do get in touch via our website. Thank you.